please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's log, subdates 230124.7. 2 days out and the Arcadia's structural integrity is starting to wane, so we've busted out the emergency gaffer tape. Worst comes to worst, we'll use Bork's bones if it gets too much. I hear Ferengi bones have some kind of tritanium in. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy, a game that has been getting a fair amount of promotion of late. A game that many are looking forward to, myself included. In fact, I'll get it on the Switch when it comes out because I do play handheld console more than I do PC, and I know PC master race over the console peasantry. It's also been getting pressed though for negative reasons. But what I'm looking forward to is revisiting the idea of an open world Harry Potter style game. If anyone played Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone or Chamber of Secrets on PlayStation, you'll remember you can pretty much just run around Hogwarts all the time. You could fly around the castle in the Chamber of Secrets on your broomstick. Pretty much all I did actually. After I completed the campaign, I just flew everywhere. Hovered about and wished I could drop people on their head, because I'm a good ad-friendly person. What I thought I'd do today is go through a few trending related tweets and other tweets and finish on a response video, because somebody has said something quite interesting, something worth our time, something truly delectable. So various forms of Hogwarts Legacy and J.K. Rowling were trending. Instead of going to Hogwarts Legacy related trending tags because I forgot to archive them, we're going to go to the most recent J.K. Rowling trending tag. So first, trans activist. You can change the outside of the book, but the inside is still the way the creator made it. It's still J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. Can't change that fact with a superficial change. Reality is reality. I can't help but feel that tweet is double-meaninged. And that's because there is somebody, an artist, in Toronto, who've been making changes to Harry Potter novels by removing J.K. Rowling's name from it. They basically rebound the book. Another tweet. There are reports that the Tories might actually try to block Scottish GRA reform, Gender Recognition Act, which would cause a constitutional crisis and bolster the independence campaign. It would be hilarious if the sum total of J.K. Rowling's gender-critical campaigning was an independent Scotland. At this point, it is a case of when Scotland attains their independence, for however long they decide to have it before giving it up to the European Union. Included is an image of J.K. Rowling donating $1 million to Scotland's anti-independence campaign. I think it's because she lives in a castle in Scotland. I don't suppose she used established titles, did she, to get herself a nice little lord or lady title now, did she? Another tweet, though, showing how low some people will go, includes an image of a Labour MP having to apologise to J.K. Rowling. Why? Because what he had done was accused her of using her own sexual assault as justification for discriminating against trans people. Is anyone else noticing a theme here of how low some people are willing to go, and when people realise, some it is anyway, that the line perhaps shouldn't be crossed that far? It seems to me that they're doing it a bit late. Now that particular image comes from an article in 2020, but that does show back then especially what the party was like. Somehow this crap gets swept under a rug and often forgotten. Thank God for archive, am I right? Now the entire reason that particular tweet did its rounds with that image was because, well, a few Labour MPs stood with Sarah Jane Barker, a convicted male violent torturer who wrote death threats to J.K. Rowling. 2 years ago taught you morons nothing, apparently. Rather irritatingly, when people like Nigel Farage say that we're getting to the point with Labour and the Conservatives where they become indistinguishable with certain behaviours, there's a point here. Handling of optics is quite impressive. Handling of situations and perhaps choosing who you decide to associate with. When it comes to Labour, apparently, nah. The final tweet that will lead on to something else that made me chuckle, Miss Bubbles. So anybody playing Hogwarts Legacy is being cancelled, yet it's okay to be hyped about Diablo 4? Got to love the hypocrisy on the internet, and some pick and choose what they want to be upset about. Either apply your justice and solidarity to all studios and games, or don't. In this, I fully agree. My view on it is going to remain the same, and I'm going to give you an opinion. I'm going to play the game anyway. It's more than likely going to be quite mediocre, but I'm going to play it anyway. Why? Because I like video games, alright? And I like playing on my Switch. okay? Moving on to other tweets that made me chuckle before a response video. Tweet from Lavender. Well, now I do want to play it. Genocide run, no damage, death spells only, let's go! Included is an image. The image has Steam on it. Yeah, we're going to read the post first and I'll show you the image. Some of the tags for Hogwarts Legacy. Despite the ones I added, the top tags for Hogwarts Legacy right now are villain, protagonist, and capitalism. Let's keep this going, y'all. Put in the bad tags, because that's how you really prevent a game from being sold. That's how you stop J.K. Rowling from making the money. That's how this works, right? It's not like, money had already exchanged hands, and she'd made her money from it, meaning that you're only really hurting those who make the game, Avalanche Software and Warner Brothers Games, Portkey Games perhaps. I don't want to be that guy or anything, but have you thought this through? It's like review bombing on Rotten Tomato and IMDb at this point, but you're doing it on Steam. Are you trying to get the game, flagged? To be honest, villain protagonist is a huge selling point. I am 100% on board with that. Capitalism in magic? Let me go get my galleon, sickles and knuts. Genocide Simulator. You could have just called it Farming Simulator at that point. All of which apply to it. Especially if you're a vegan and you play Farming Simulator and you're, farming cows. You're a villain, you're a capitalist, and you're committing a genocide of the moo variety. I like my steak medium, alright? Somewhat understandably, when people push back against things like this and try and get it cancelled or removed, others are going to see this and go, so, pre-order? Shall we move on to other salty little cowbags? Because I've got 2 tweets, both of which are related to the response video. I'm going to read the tweets, then we're going to go through the video. So Sargon of Akkad's Samage Wench, Callum tweeted, I really don't want to buy the game, but it gets ever more tempting. A retweet of Will Overgard, who was also retweeted by The Act Man. Be buying this game, you support transphobic values. I say as the metal in my cell phone used to record this video was mined by child slave labour. With a reply underneath, that doesn't defeat his point at all. The Axeman replies, no it doesn't, but by his own logic he supports child slave labour, so best not use his brain-dead logic in the first place. Another reply though, you only condemn child slave labour when you can use it as an opportunity to win arguments on the internet? The Axeman, yes of course I fully endorse child slave labour, obviously you troglodyte. Will Overguard's tweet reads, my request to you all, please don't support Hogwarts Legacy.
Please do not support the upcoming Hogwarts Legacy game. Friends, colleagues, cohorts, the whole lot of you, I'm asking you very sincerely, please do not stream it. Don't make YouTube videos about it, don't buy it, and don't bloody pre-order it.
This already feels like reverse psychology. Tell me not to do something and I really want to do it. It was like when Colin Kaepernick did ads for Nike. Many people in protest threw their Nike trainers away. Others, in protest of that, because it's cringe, went and bought themselves some new TNs. But I'm sure you have a much better reason than Colin Kaepernick.
The reason being is that you may not be aware that by supporting this title, you are essentially aligning yourself with some really heinous transphobic values.
Am I right to surmise that if we apply this same reasoning to other areas of the gaming industry, we can't touch anything made by Blizzard Activision because of sexual assault allegations and inappropriate behavior in the workplace, EA because shit customer service, Ubisoft because they're hypocrites? I could go on if you want. Jokes aside, the values of one person should not in any way harm the product that is being produced, a product that many have waited for a long time to play. And yes, I am saying that playing a video game is vastly more important to me than human rights, or those that say things against others because of their perception of that individual's rights, freedoms, and identity. Because I'm selfish. Do I need a sarcasm sign for all of this? Did I? If I did, you can fuck off.
J.K. Rowling, aka Joanne, has made it extremely clear that they see the success of this title as being vindication of their transphobic views. That, by this title doing well, that means that they were correct. And honestly, you just have to look on the Steam forums to see the kind of people that are cheering for this game.
There are a couple points I want to make. The first, the game should do really well. Not because of the negative attention it's received, or the fact the game could just be quite mediocre, but because it is latching onto the wizarding experience of Harry Potter, Hogwarts and all of that, and making it open world for the player to do what they want. And that is quite Good. Does it vindicate J.K. Rowling? No, not really. But it can be argued the success, if reasonable, would show that her pull, her power, is not as negatively harmed as others would believe. Additionally, does this mean at any point those that buy the games are supporting transphobia? No, it really doesn't. But people are so desperate to pigeonhole. They will call you that because buzzword and silenced.
Please don't be among them. If you weren't aware of all this, I'll do a longer video after this to explain a bit more of the nuances, but I just had to say, please don't support this game. Please.
Well, you convinced me to pre-order it when I get paid. Congratulations. I keenly await your nuanced masterpiece, your magnum opus, explaining the full context, because in such a short video you could only rely on a few buzzwords and a bit of begging to get your point across. It's not like on TikTok you have a little bit more time where you could have articulated something a bit better that wasn't then by extension torn apart by everyone on social media.